Well, it's I often try to go back and see what kind of fascination I had as a child, and this was some of these musicals were, you know, the Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, whatever, was on television when I was a child, and this was always very appealing. So I thought maybe I could recreate some of that, or start from the fascination I had way back then. I don't know if musical is melodrama. Of course it is. It's the family of melodrama in a sense, but musicals, or the ones I saw when I was a child, was never really dangerous. They were never really, you didn't cry. Oh, that's very unusual. It's actually more, musical is the same thing as an operetto in Danish operette. That is a theater thing, and that has always been characterized by being very light. And these musicals that I started to see were very light. Then, of course, came a fantastic musical, West Side Story, that was not so light. That was kind of more like melodrama thing, or dramatic story. But no melodrama. I wouldn't call it. It's. I think that the essential feeling that they, bring to me when I think about it is this lightness, and that's why you can also compare them with the music videos today, because that's kind of lightness is what they bring, because it is a form. It doesn't demand very much of you, almost nothing. It's pleasure just to see it, and no light. Light is a good word.
Okay, and by comparison, is Dancer in the Dark heavy?
I have tried, or my idea was, I don't know if I have tried or if I have succeeded, but my idea was to put in more melodrama, in the sense that, the difference between an opera and an operetto, is it called an operetto in English? Yeah. Is that the heavy stuff is in the opera and the melodrama is in the opera, whereas the other thing is much lighter. So I've, and then again, you could say also West Side Story is more of an opera story than Singing in the Rain, where they just, what can they lose, a career? That she loses a career. Debbie Reynolds almost loses a career. Or no, she gets a career. I don't know, blah, blah. It's kind of smaller things normally that happens in a musical. So I've tried to kind of, or I would like to have achieved that you take it seriously in the same way as you do with an opera. And I was told, I haven't been there myself, but I was told that, still today maybe some, but some years ago people really cried at operas, right? When the Lady of Camille, or whatever she's called, kind of, then you cry. It's really
But you've
the
never
heavy
been
stuff.
to one? You've never been to
Oh
one?
yes, but I haven't cried. I haven't cried. The problem, of course, the problem when the music suddenly, pours down from the sky, then you have a tendency to do like, in the Muppet shows, where they kind of, looked up to see where all the violins are located. And that, of course, takes some of the pain and the danger away from the whole thing. So the idea was to maybe come back to, what you would say, a more serious film. And I must say that the little trick that I have used for these music numbers in this film, I'm not very proud of this idea that she has these fantasies, or she has this ability to hear music in every day, sounds from everyday life. Well, I like the idea, but I'm not very proud of the fact that we haven't dared to go all the way and make a cleaner musical in that sense. You know, where they start to sing for no reason. But that might be next time. This technique that I've used before, you know, with the handheld camera, and especially with video, so you have, you know, all the time you need, is getting away from, you know, the storyboards that we used to do, but also the music, the way we have produced these music scenes. We have tried to what should we say, keep this random effect or life or whatever by putting up a lot of fixed cameras instead of, you know, staging a scene for a camera. And we put up a lot of cameras, not enough. We should have used some more, but it was it should enable you not to control the scene, right? So you just put up a lot of cameras and then you get some gifts. Or early on in my career, if I'd made a musical, I would have made it a very traditional way with a lot of tracking shots and crane shots. It's logical. That's how you do it. That's what makes, you know, image and music work together. It's a pleasure. But now, you know, I have a tendency to put down rules for myself. So I thought, no, let's go in the opposite direction and do only fixed cameras. So this is all fixed cameras. These and remote controlled. No, they're only fixed. And then we get what we. If somebody moves in front of the camera, then we get something. Well, the style of the music, of course, the style of the music is something that has come as a collision between her and me. And she's the one that knows about music, of course. And I know a little about the musicals I saw back then. And the film is about a woman who likes the same musicals as I did back then. And of course it was important for me that there were some themes or whatever, some feelings from these musicals that then kind of also collided with a documentary style, with a character, whatever, and also with some what should we say, Björk style music. And that was kind of the collision I talked about between the. That was the idea all the time.
So you never had in your head that it was going to be sort of lyrical Leonard Bernstein type.
No, the biggest problem about making a musical is, of course, what music should you put in it, and I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. So that is where Björk came in very handy, I must say. And I like the music that she has done very much. Some of it I had to learn to like, but I like it very much, and it's a big part of the film. It's not a big part of the story, since the story was written before she came in, but I couldn't have asked for any better performer and in any way. And no, she has an incredible performance, incredible. And it's not acted, I must say that. It's not acted, it's felt. And I think that Björk always talks about not a divine power, but a mystical power, right? And if there was any kind of mystical power behind this, then it was the fact that the two of us came together on this project. That was kind of mystical in the sense that I think, well, you can discuss the result, but there's so many things that make sense when you see Björk saying the lines that I had written without knowing her, which is, I think, beautiful.